So today, just moments ago, my show was postponed, canceled until 2021, and I figured I might as well give you guys a real vulnerable reaction. This week, honestly, has been one of the most disappointing weeks in my life. I feel like it's just, and I'll remind you that if you're struggling, it's normal, and even the most positive, happy people that are seemingly full of joy have moments of doubt and sorrow and fear and sadness and just downright crappy weeks. And this week is just, it's so bad. And I just want to encourage you that everybody goes through stuff. The important thing is that we remember that we can make it through anything. Literally anything. So I hope you find encouragement to that. I'm obviously not going to stay on here and chat. I just, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as training or anything right now. I just know that I'm not prepping as of right now for a show that is in 4 weeks because it's not happening. But I will update you, and I'm praying so hard that I wake up with a better mentality and the desire to like just be alive and thriving like I usually am. My boy's all worked up. It's so late. But I love you guys enough. Hello guys, welcome back. 10 days later, I don't know how many days it's been since I recorded that depressing, just pitiful clip. However, it was real life, and it was truly a representation of how I've been feeling. I'm not going to lie to you, the last 10 days, 11 days, have been some of the hardest days of my entire life. And I don't say that lightly, okay? I'm not exaggerating, okay? It's been a real struggle, really hard, and I'm barely hanging on. But I decided today that for the first time in a very long time, I was going to do something with myself, put some makeup on my face, and I do feel a little bit better. So just know, we're holding it together, and I decided to decorate a little bit, so that made me feel better as well. I'll give you guys a little peek of my little baby tree in the bedroom. It's adorable. I'm so happy with it. And then if you look to the right, that's a bunch of things I don't need to buy, but I did anyway. Told you guys that my show was canceled. On top of that, I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff, and it's just hard. It's just really hard right now. It's just really hard time. So I announced that, and it's a bummer, but I got over it. It's been a week since I announced that, very sad way, that the show was canceled, okay? Postponed, if you will. Since then, I have eaten a lot of food, okay? Done a lot of thinking, eaten more food, made some bad decisions with my diet, and now I am ready to refocus my energy. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person that once I have my mindset, like I am so laser focused. One of my best friends told me last week that I'm the most driven person that she's ever met, which is a very huge compliment, especially coming from such a wise person. But I am very driven, and once I might have my mindset, I'm just like, I will do whatever it takes to get there. There is no changing my mind. I already did it in my head, so we're just gonna go with it. So when I found out that the show was being postponed in the worst possible way, in the worst timing, during the worst week, one of the worst weeks of my life, needless to say, I was devastated. But now I have to redirect and reanalyze and reset my plan. That's what happens when things don't go according to plan, which is very often, especially today in 2020. So the show is scheduled for the end of March. So I'm going to compete. I literally got my suit in 2 days after the show was postponed. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. Really is. It really is. I love it so much. So I'm going to compete in either March or April. I have not decided yet. I do not know. I do know that I'm going to invest everything and spend all of my time focusing on my clients and lifting heavy and eating more food. And Atlas Academy is my first ever challenge for my personal training business, and I'm excited just to see multiple people thrive at once. It's gonna be so fun. If you're interested, I will leave a link below. It's only $101.50 if you pre-register by the end of this week, December 7th. It's gonna be a blast. It starts December 28th. I'm gonna focus on that, the creation and the completion and the execution of that. And I'm going to focus on just giving myself a few weeks, and then we're gonna get back on the prep train. Back on the prep train in January, and then I'm either going to compete at the end of March or at the end of April at one of the Michigan NPC shows. So we will see what happens, but in the meantime, we're gonna focus on our mental health and just getting through this rough season that I'm going through, because it's gnarly, really gnarly. It's just rough. Like, this is the first day I've cried today, don't get it twisted, but today's the first day that I've actually like held it together, did something with myself besides sit in my sorrow, okay? And if you're going through something too, I actually wrote you a poem just for you. So I wrote this poem this morning after my devotional, my time with God. I wrote it just because I love to write poetry. So I'm gonna end the video with this poem about struggles. And if you're going through something like I am, this is for you. If your plans have been demolished, if your just whole world has been turned upside down this year, this is for you. And otherwise, I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to like this video if you are happy to be along for my journey, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Next week I am going to, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Things coming up, so don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to be kind, and don't forget to love on people, because everyone needs it a little bit extra, especially right now. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Struggles. We all have our struggles. Sadness, when we may not ask for help, seasons that are left offline and instead kept to ourselves. It doesn't make it less real. It's there, and your feelings are justified. Don't try to bear the weight alone. Don't abandon your healing for your pride. I am hurting, I'm struggling, and I don't know how I'll make it through. I do know I will though, because I am strong and you are too. We all have our own stuff to deal with, and oftentimes it seems unfair. Just know that we always have someone to turn to, and I for one will always be there. By God's grace and because of strength, we will make it through any dark time. Light will soon prevail, and every little thing will be fine. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.